Hi there everybody, this is Gandhi from GameCannon.co.uk. I just want to make a video today to talk about the launch a little bit and maybe get some of your thoughts about how it's going so far. The footage you're watching in the background is one of my guild members, Toffee. He's playing a Jedi Knight Guardian DPS spec. He's gone for an evil Zabrak role, which basically means that he's chucking people out of airlocks, killing children, anything he can to get dark side points. I've asked him to make me a little background video of him leveling through the airs. I believe at the moment he's in Nar Shaddaa, which I'm sure I'm pronouncing wrong, but there you go. He gained access on the 13th of December in the 5th wave. For those of you who don't know, the game was launched in waves starting on the 13th of December. There was supposed to be 4 waves on that day. They introduced a bonus wave, which is the only reason he got in. That is an area I'll talk about in a little bit because there's been some flaming around it and a lot of angry people, but we'll get onto that in a second. So to look at some of the figures first of all, so that we can really judge the launch so far, I'll roll off some stats for you. There was 725,000 unique gamers who participated in the beta test. These were the weekends before the game's launch. Okay, so that's quite a high volume of people, and I'll bring that into perspective in a second. There was also more than 78,000 guilds who participated in the pre-launch guild program. My guild was one of those. You needed to have 4 members with pre-orders in order to gain access to that launch program. It basically created your guild for you so that whenever everyone logged in, they're already a part of it, which was awesome. It worked really well. I am the leader of the guild, and I was actually in second last of my guild, but that didn't matter. All my officers got in, they had their ranks because I set them on the website. Worked really well. There's 2.4 million players who are registered on the game's official website. Okay, so it's starting to give you an idea of the demand, and this is before hearsay has really taken hold. Once the game has been launched, a couple of weeks, a month, we're going to see new players coming in and buzz starting to float around the internet. If it's good, a lot of people now, they've been stung by games like Age of Conan or Rift. They've spent a lot of money, and then the game's not had any sustainability. So if this game takes off, those numbers could explode. Now, to bring that into some perspective, within the first day of World of Warcraft launching, over 200,000 players had created accounts, and by 5 PM, over 100,000 were playing the game. Now that may seem like a lot less in comparison, but what you have to remember is that World of Warcraft broke the mold in this area. It really kind of commercialized the MMO market and set up a plan for which many companies have followed, both in launches and how to make money out of this industry. So obviously a much more successful launch, but we've seen loads of games with really successful launches who have petered out. So there's not much I think we can say about that until a little further down the line. So commenting on the launch, what do you guys think so far? And what I think is that it's actually been really good, really smooth. We've not had any server crashes. We've just recently had a server maintenance, which I'll talk about in a second, which went without a problem as well. We've had a few servers flick off, but nothing too major, so all in all, smooth. Now, to get to some of the negative aspects that people are saying, one of the biggest things was the way they ran the waves and the early game access. Now, what was promised by BioWare was up to 5 days early access, and they've made 3 contradictions in themselves. Okay, so they've told us 3 things that weren't true. The first thing was that there'd be a 22nd release date for the European players. They changed that to the 20th. So some might say, well, that's great, they changed it. But then you've got to remember, people make pre-order decisions based on when the release day is, if they can get a hard copy in store, if they're ordering online. So some stores now with that date won't release the copies until that date, so it causes problems. They also said it'd be up to 5 days before you could gain access. It was actually changed up to 7, so the 13th rather than the 15th. And there was a bonus wave on the first day as the third contradiction. They said there'd be 4 waves, there was actually 5. Again, they're all positive aspects, but they are examples of where we've been officially told one thing that's not turned out to be true. And it's just important to note that that is possible, because in this early stage of the relationship between BioWare and the consumer, we need to know where we stand. And this brings me on to the server maintenance that we had today on the 16th. It was told that UK time the servers would be down from 8 AM to 12. And I'd been speaking to my guildies, and I said that, you know, this is actually hugely important, this maintenance, because you get some companies that run their MMOs whereby they'll say the servers will be down from 8 till 10, and then if they finish them early, they'll bring them up, say at 9. Problem with that is, you then get an expectation that servers could come up early. And when they don't, you get people saying, well, why didn't you finish early? Why did it take so long? Blah, 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 blah. But if you set out the standard from the very beginning that we said it will be down from 8 till 12, and then no matter how long it takes you, you bring it back up bang on 12, people just expect that when they say it, that's what will happen. And I think that's a theme that's running through a lot of BioWare's communication. Yes, there's been these contradictions, but, you know, we were told that the early access would work in waves. That once you bought your pre-order, you were given an early access code. You go into their website, redeem that code, and based on the date in which you redeemed that, you would gain access to the game. And that is exactly what happened. And through Twitter and Facebook and forums, we've seen people, as the waves have come out, stating their dates, and they've all worked chronologically. So that's, you know, that is a huge bonus. We can trust in what they said, and their system worked, and they didn't mess it up, and that's crucial that we learn that not only there's communication there, but that it's communication that can be trusted. Oh, and he's just died. Nice one. Very nice off. That wasn't even challenging. What are you doing? You're making us look like idiots. I'll berate him for that later. That's just embarrassing. So yeah, there's loads of positives to take, I think, from the launch, and there's a lot of people flaming, and I understand it. They're angry. I myself pre-ordered Collector's Edition, didn't redeem my code to the 10th of October, and I think on the 14th of December, the last wave of the day went up to the 7th of October, so I had to wait an extra day. So, you know, I've felt that frustration. I was, you know, second last in my guild to get on. It's frustrating, but I'd rather be able to trust in what BioWare are saying than, you know, throw my toys out of the pram and get access. And I'd rather that their main focus was server stability. They haven't crashed yet. The servers are holding. They've still got the official launch day. My cousin's actually bought the game in store, and he's not going to have access till the 20th. So there's a wealth of people out there who are still going to be rushing in on the 20th. So I think, you know, we have to think of the servers first, and obviously all of us pre-order people get out of the noob zones as fast as possible. So, you know, that's interesting, and I would urge people to keep an eye on their Facebook, keep an eye on their Twitter, and have a look at a guy called Rockjaw's Twitter. That's the senior community manager for Star Wars: The Old Republic. He's actually been answering numerous tweets throughout the 13th, 14th, 15th of December regarding simple issues that people are having with password problems, security questions, things that are just regular support issues. He's a senior community manager, and he's taken the time to actually tweet back to as many people as he can. And, you know, I think that's a really positive sign, because a lot of big companies will stick their head under a rock when things become overwhelming. But, you know, they've grabbed the bull by the horns and taken ownership. So I think we need to give them a little bit of slack. You're all getting access now. It's only a few more days. We've had a really good service so far, a good beta program. There were issues in beta, and they went straight there and fixed them. So let's have a bit of faith. I'm definitely on the positive side, but understand some people are going to have different views, and tell me, you might change my mind. I don't know. You know, this is one person's perspective, so I'd be interested to see what you guys think. And I hope you're enjoying the game. If there's any videos you'd like to see Game Cannon make, or something you'd like a little bit more information about, drop us a line and we'll see what we can do. We'll be releasing content day by day. I think we're actually going to make a video of myself, Gandhi, and Sharpie from the Game Cannon team doing the first Flashpoint, and that should be up in a few days. That'll be a bit of dual commentary, so hopefully that'll be fun. But thanks for watching, and feel free to flame Toffee for being a noob and dying in a very short video. Cheers for now.